You're watching BCTV, Brantford's Community Access Station.
Hello and welcome to Just Sayin, opinionated, thought-provoking, and hopefully inspiring, a show created by women and for women and the men in their lives. I can't explain how excited I am to be with my co-host today. I'm Patty Urban, and here's all of my girls. We're so here and we're so excited. So welcome. What's going on with you guys?
Oh, wow.
You look way happy.
She is. You're awfully different.
I am happy.
How many cups of coffee?
We have a husky
Yeah. We have our drink of the day, and it is called a Siberian Husky.
Which it's yummy. It's very
We're
refreshing.
Italian with today's guest.
It's
Yeah,
refreshing.
and
I'm afraid
it's
this is
made
gonna hit
with
me.
Cranberry juice, Sprite,
And a little swizzle stick.
and blueberry vodka. And we have a little swizzle blueberry stick here.
But this is the mocktail version, so we did not put the blueberry vodka in here.
Right.
Okay.
Correct? Mine's the mocktail.
That sounds good. Hey, speaking of mocktails, how about the Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition made history with having a plus-size model on it. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think she's beautiful.
She is
considered,
beautiful.
She's considered plus size. She's size 16.
Right.
That's
But
like
she's very tall.
she's
Yeah,
6
but-
feet, she's 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
She's a thick girl, but she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
I want a size 16 woman who's 5'3". Then we're talking.
Well, that's the
You know what I mean?
I want guys on there too.
That's a plus, right?
Not for Sports Illustrated.
Why not? Time out. No. Listen, not that she's not beautiful. She is, and I'm really glad they did that.
Woman's
Patty,
body is
so.
pretty.
But Ashley Graham's been modeling
know.
since she was 12 years old, so it's
She
not
used
like
to
they
be-
just plucked her out of.
Right.
I mean, she's been modeling for some
She used
very
to be
big
a
names.
size 0. I cannot
Really?
imagine being 6 feet tall and being a size 0.
That's very-
I can't imagine it. I'm
Look at
5'10".
it
That's
down
what the
to-
industry
Yeah.
though wants.
Yeah, but don't you get like?
But I mean, bone structure. I mean, you can't at 6 feet fit into something that's a size 0. It has to be made special for you because lengthwise and
Proportion-wise.
everything
What do you
else
think
can't.
high fashion models are?
Well, I
I
know,
know, but that's not healthy. This is what it comes down to: is that does the person look healthy? A lot of the models you see on the runways, fashion runways, magazines, they just don't look healthy.
Well, and they have
It's
their
like-
rib. You see their ribs and.
Yeah.
Well, do you know
falling
what?
down on the runways all the time because they're bow-legged, you know.
You know, somebody told me this, and it was true.
Or something else is wrong.
Cheryl Tiegs, in the height of her career, was 35% body fat. And because she was not, you know what I
Well,
mean?
it's
Like
changed
she
from
was
the
all,
60s and
yeah.
70s,
But she
yeah.
was thin. I mean, you saw how thin she was, and you know what I mean. But she was not fit. She even says that now. You know, now she wasn't fit.
muscular.
Right now.
Right, yeah. And
Meat on their
she's
bones.
still beautiful.
And
though.
Ronda
go Sports
Rousey was also
Illustrated.
on the cover. We have to say there were 3 different covers. Ronda Rousey was also on the cover, and a lot of people know Ronda Rousey as being, you know, obviously very fit because of what she does. And so I think it's a great term.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting with that. There was an Uber driver, and I just thought I would bring this up.
Yeah,
An Uber driver who was out there who went out on a shooting rampage, and that brings up for me a lot of caution because I have used Uber.
I love Uber.
Yeah, and what the problem is that they do a background check, but that is only good enough if you've never done anything before. They need to do a mental health check, I think.
But that could be on any cab. It could be on any
cab driver,
anybody,
too.
train driver.
Right, how is
anything.
this going to affect Uber? Uber's being now out there with
Listen,
this guy.
I'm not-
Everybody, they're all looking for something to
I
criticize
think what
Uber
makes
with.
it, I think what makes this what's so, why they're always saying, not only this guy did this, but by the way, he's an Uber driver, is because Uber is known, especially in recent months, for not really being a pro driver type of organization. They're not good to their drivers. There's all kinds of backlash from the drivers to the company. So I think this is just one more way to attack Uber.
And I've heard from Uber drivers that it's a great extra income. That everything's prepaid online, so that there's no money exchange.
And they just turn their phones on or off if they want to take up rides. So they shut it down if they don't. They turn it on when they do. They
Yeah,
pick up a
I'm
quick
not.
ride.
Okay, listen, I would never take Uber, and I would never have sorry Uber.
Really?
And I would
Say
never, and
never.
I'll tell you why. In this day and age, with all the stuff going on out there, and I mean, let me ask you a question. Would any of you hitchhike? No. So why would you take Uber? You have no idea who's picking you up. They are not screened. There's no insurance. I could be a psycho murderer. How do you know who's picking you up?
It's funny.
Think about it, Dodie. We talked about. I mean, think about it.
I can't describe why I don't trust Uber. Because
But it could be a
I would
deranged
get into a
cab
cab,
driver.
and they were saying on the news this morning that they do a background check, but they don't do a fingerprint to check for any records with the fingerprint. So they don't really know
Yeah, there's no
if the
criminal.
person, the information they got from the person is really about that person.
How many cabs have you gotten in and been frightened for your
Okay,
life?
but the
Actually,
difference
I
Honestly,
feel more
the dude
comfortable in a
smells,
cab.
doesn't speak English. You can't understand a word he says. He's got some crazy music on, and he drives like you're gripping
But
to the
taxi
your
cabs
life.
are a regulated industry, and
Yes.
they have labor unions. Uber is not. It's
No,
not
it's
regulated,
not.
and there's
But
labor
But this guy goes
I
to
don't
work
know.
every day. We all watch Taxi in the 70s. I mean,
Right.
80s, you go to work,
Right.
people see you. I mean, look,
guess.
obviously you could have a deranged cab driver. Of course you could.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. But to me, I look at Uber, it's like I might as well just hitchhike because honestly, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have no idea whose car, come on, Lee, you have no idea whose car you're getting into.
But I'll tell you something. It's working though. I mean, now there's more companies. What's the other one? Lyft.
Yeah.
We've got senior communities. I work in the senior field. They're using it as on-demand transportation. How awesome
a
is that? You
status.
have
Yes.
transportation
Yes.
to your residents at retirement communities.
Right.
It's brilliant.
It is.
So somebody gets
Corporations
killed.
are
Like they did.
providing their
Hello.
cars.
You can get killed in a
Right.
cab. You can
Right.
get killed on an airplane. You can get.
Statistically speaking, it's great.
So that goes to speak to, is Uber really a lot of
You
people
want
are
your
using
you
Uber
want your
because
daughter
it's
getting an Uber?
I'm using Uber because it's great. I have the app on my phone, and I don't have to
That's sick.
prepare anything. All
Nope.
I do is go boop, and they're there in 5 minutes.
Okay, so when you guys are
And college
getting
kids are using it like crazy.
hijacked, don't be calling me.
For
I'm
DUI.
Cindy, I don't trust it.
Amen. I'll pay
Not
for my
even-
son's
not even for that, but
for
even
college to not
To
drink
take
and
a
drive.
train to college, outside your campus. These college
Well,
kids
we
are
can have
using
one here in
Uber.
5
They
minutes.
Well, you know
We can
what?
pick us up and we can invite the Uber
Hello?
driver in.
Hello?
That's guest.
Excuse me.
It's on the show.
Hello,
We're gonna have an Uber
Dahmer,
driver.
Ted Bundy. I mean,
Oh, come
hello.
I want to bring something else out. I just want to talk about Jeb Bush for a second. We know he's no longer a presidential candidate, but his website apparently didn't get renewed and got hacked by Donald Trump. So when you go to jebbush.com, you would get Donald Trump. Is that
gets
correct?
directed right
How
to-
Yes.
bad could your operation be if you don't even know your website's not for you?
well, interesting,
Brilliant
Patty.
move on Trump's part.
Right, a lot of people have done this, but right here in Connecticut, State Representative Jason Perillo did the same exact thing. He went ahead and bought up all the different people that might potentially run for governor in 2018, and he bought like all different scenarios. And the thing is that you resell them to the person for money. Because what is it to do a website? Like a couple $100 to secure a domain name or something?
Oh,
Or-
no.
Like
Cheap.
$15.
Yeah.
Okay,
A year.
so now he's going to supposedly sell it for thousands. So isn't that? Listen, that's
been
entrepreneurship.
happening.
People
in
do that
business
for
for years. Yeah.
Do you know how many websites I own and will never use?
I do
Oh,
too.
I have like
ton of them.
100 of them. Like, yeah, oh yeah. Because
I have a lot of them.
What do you
every
got?
every name that I could possibly use for my business and then the fashion chart. I mean, I went through and I just went on GoDaddy and bought them all.
Yeah, I have
Created
them
them
too.
all,
I have a
bought 'em all.
load of them.
I own a
Yeah,
ton
actually.
of domain
And then
names.
if you want to keep them, here's a simple trick, especially if you use GoDaddy or any of these other
Yeah,
domains.
what do you do?
You set it up for automatic
Oh,
renewal.
you're right. So if Jeb did that, he'd be all set. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he don't
Well,
care.
I would
What the
think-
hell's he doing? He's not doing anything else. He doesn't need anything.
Well, he's not going to be president.
He's not. No, not this time.
Could you imagine another Bush-Clinton showdown?
No, I really couldn't. Well, on that note, let's just take a quick break. We'll be back with our guest, who this drink is
In honor of.
in
yes,
honor of
that's right.
our next guest. So we're very happy to have her. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Just Saying. We have our special guest here today. Her name is Marilyn Clements, and she is the publisher of The Breeze. We have a magazine. This is a local, hyper-local magazine called The Breeze, and it goes out to the folks in Guilford and Brantford.
And we just happen to be on the cover of this one.
And I don't think you can get in, but yes, we are on the cover of it. Just Saying made the cover, so we're very excited about that. Welcome, Marilyn. How are you?
Thank you.
Yeah. We also have a drink in your honor. It's called a Siberian Husky. Because Marilyn is also the author of a book called Benson's Race, and it's the story about.
So Benson is a Siberian Husky training hard for the Iditarod, but on the way, his best friend Rosie, the Redford Husky, gets dog-napped by Zelda, the evil musher. So it's got lots of lessons for the kids to learn. Yeah. Don't go with strangers. Don't be prejudiced. Work hard for what you want in life. Nothing is free. And basically, the second and third graders love my book.
So what inspired you to write this, though? This story?
Where'd you get the idea?
Yeah, well, Benson, there was an actual Benson. So Benson was my Siberian Husky for 14 years, and I was just madly in love with him. And toward the end of his life, he'd be sleeping and kind of running in his sleep.
Aww.
And so I just thought, well, what if he weren't my dog and he were an Iditarod dog? And so that's where I came up with the idea. But now I have BB. She's a miniature Siberian Husky, and I just love her.
Oh my God! I didn't know they made them miniatures.
Yeah, I found a breeder in North Carolina.
Blue eyes, too?
Blue eyes. She's beautiful. He was about 78 to 80 pounds at times. She's 36 pounds, so she's about half the size.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute.
And a totally different personality. Benson, I think he barked maybe 5 times in his whole life. BB, all she does is bark. And I went away a couple of weekends ago, and I had a dog walker, and he didn't put her on my deck, so she didn't hear the dog bark, and she calls me up, Marilyn, are you all right? I don't hear BB. So.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I just love dogs, and Siberian Huskies are more to me like people than in any other breed.
Nice. They're adorable. Yeah. My kids want me to get one, but unfortunately I'm allergic to dogs that shed. So we have Shih Tzus, and I have another puppy coming very soon. It's great. So I'll have 3 of them, 4 kids, 3 dogs, 1 rabbit, and 6 chickens. So who am I? Home McDonald's, I think,
Do you rent your chickens?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
we did. But anyway, so writing the book, did that lead you into wanting to be a publisher of a magazine?
Pretty much. I'm from corporate America originally, and at one point I just didn't want to be in corporate America anymore, and I thought I would love to publish a local magazine, and I just love Brantford and Guilford. It's my favorite place in the Northeast. Mm-hmm. And so I did find my publishing house, and it's a hyper-local magazine. It's monthly, delivered to private homes on the shoreline of Brantford and Guilford, and I feature folks from the areas on the covers each month, and again, it's all hyper-local.
And so how do you find the people that you feature in your magazine?
It's funny because when I first started this, I had the same question, how am I going to find, people from my magazine, and they just kind of pop up. I meet the greatest folks every single day because of my magazine. And so, yeah, it's just going around talking to people.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And so, from going to the publishing route, what made you decide, or I guess have you thought about following up this book with another children's book? Have you thought about going into more of an adult read? Do you want to keep this going, or is it a one-time thing? Tell us more about kind of what your vision is from a literary standpoint.
I do have 2 more books on the way, but the magazine, and I've got other things going on in my life right now, but I do have 2 other books, children's books on the way. There is another book that I'm going to actually hire a ghostwriter for that particular book, because that's going to be a true story. It's about,
Your true story?
Well, actually, if you must know, it's
Okay, inquiring minds want to know.
It's a tragedy that happened in my family about 30 years ago.
Oh.
And so there's going to be a lot of, court research, so I'm going to need some help with that one.
Sure.
But for right now, I do have 2 more children's books on the way. Cool. And I just love my magazine. It was really fun actually having you guys interviewed, and
It's beautifully put together, and I think we look kind of nice. Yeah,
I think so too.
The article is
but
great.
But let me
We're
say
not.
my favorite part of this magazine, I will tell you, is that you always have a pet of the month. So you're a big pet advocate. I
Yes.
think anyone that knows you knows that you're a big pet advocate. So is there anything else that's near and dear to your heart that you do for or with animals?
Actually, yes, I do signings. So each time I do a signing, I'll actually sell the book and the husky, and 100% of the profits go to that particular charity.
Oh, nice.
So I've done pet protectors in Bridgeport, Stand Up for Animals. That's another favorite of mine in Westerly, Rhode Island. I have done some stuff for Cosgrove, and I'd like to do some more. Actually, recently we started featuring some Cosgrove animals on the pet page, which helps, and maybe they'll get adopted, maybe they won't, or maybe somebody will go in for this particular cat and he's not there, and somebody else will get adopted. So I really hope that helps, and I'm sure it does. We get a really good feedback from the magazine.
Do you go into schools too with the book?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Second graders. Second graders are my best customer. Because I'll do the voices, the Zelda voice, and they're so cute because they hold their little hands together, and it's just, I love it. I love that. So yeah.
Oh, that's
Do you want to read a page of it for us? Just
I would love to.
Since you do voices and everything, I think that would be fun. Just a little
Can I borrow your
excerpt.
glasses?
Oh yeah, sure. Here,
Let's see.
the cheaters.
Let's see. I love cheaters. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, a mean, nasty woman named Zelda was reading the Penguin Press. She was 6 feet tall and much too skinny, and as she ran her long fingers through her untidy blonde hair, she gasped horrified at the front page headlines. Benson and Rosie expected to win the Iditarod. As she read on, the article said that the world thought that Benson, the lead husky, and Rosie, the second lead, would bring the team to glory. Drat! Zelda screamed, and she threw the newspapers across the room. Her face was filled with rage. How could this happen? I will not give up to a bunch of novices. I am the queen of the Iditarod, and I will not lose.
Wow, that is awesome. I guess you have quite the passion for it.
This I am passionate.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is so exciting.
Good for you.
But the little kids, they love the voices. And generally, I'll go with, husky earrings on and my Benson's Race shirt.
Yes.
And,
Do you bring your dog with you too, the real one?
No. Oh, no. That wouldn't work.
Okay, just,
Wouldn't
just
work.
checking. So then, now with your magazine, it's a monthly magazine. You did it was with 2, and you just combined them.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for reminding me to talk about that. It used to be Guilford Neighbors and Branford Breeze, but you know what? So much of the content was similar or the same in each magazine, and basically the only difference was different people on the cover, on each cover each month. So it just made sense to merge them. And so now there's one magazine, it's called The Breeze, and we've got one cover, and like I said, most of the information was similar or the same, so it made sense.
So
Well, thank you so much for having us. It's a great, you're doing great work with the animals and raising funds for our poor pets. So we thank you. Thank you for being our guest.
coming, Marilyn.
And we'll be right back.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks. Woof.
Just Saying. I wanted to go over quickly some items from our mailbag. We have, Erica had actually posed a question on our Facebook page. If kindergarten is the new first grade, then preschool is the new kindergarten. And we've had some response to it, some comments to it.
Yeah.
And number one comment was, I made my zygote study AP Calculus. You can never start too early. Another one was, I'm working on teaching my sperm how to read, but they are so lazy. So just quickly, what do you think of the preschool?
Totally stressing me out. Totally. The opinions of when a child needs to start school, and yes, I have kindergarten friends that are kindergarten teachers, and absolutely not. Jackson will turn 5 in August, and no, they don't think he should start until he's 6 because of they want them reading when you go to kindergarten. What happened to learning your ABCs and your colors when you went to kindergarten?
But
it's not that anymore.
But but one thing I do have to say, maybe starting school is a different issue, but I think you can start teaching at home. There's something really. I've done so much research on Maria Montessori, who started the Montessori programs. Your brains are such sponges that because it hasn't started channeling and filling up with other things yet between 1 and 5. So the whole idea of getting a lot of information into children's brains.
I guess it's what program and how much stress are you putting on a child that he knows his colors, he knows what difference between a letter and a number, and he knows there are certain things he knows even at 3.5 now. However, to read by the time you're 5, I guess so.
So he's ahead of Sandy.
Competition here with
She's
the
like,
little ones.
What do you mean he's ahead of? No, I'm kidding.
They're already behind, right?
Right.
They're totally already behind. So
But my
that's like
pediatrician says the most important thing is to play, and we just had a conversation
did,
about
because
how important play is.
The other parents are like saying, push, push, push these kids. But
No,
when you're
it's gotta be
talking,
balanced.
they have to have unfettered playtime. They need to feel, they need to touch, they need to learn, they need to just absorb everything around them. They're a blank slate, and they need to take it all in, not just being pushed in there from reading and
I
all of
totally agree, and I speak on this subject a lot.
Yeah.
We're robbing our children of something that we took
childhood.
Valuable
granted,
playtime,
of
no
just
stress
laying in the
playtime.
grass and making
this.
shapes in the clouds and whatnot.
Imagination and all of that.
This is a huge concern.
It's all screens, exactly.
Because they have no socialization. The
But they have
teenagers
so
today,
much information at them that they're actually smarter earlier.
Yeah.
They're
You're right.
Well,
they're
because they're exposed to so much,
that's just
I do think they
every
put too much
2-year-old's an
pressure.
iPhone, right? So.
Well, I
the
think a lot
issue-
of it is the pressure that other parents put on each other.
Yes.
Because
the Joneses
you're more
syndrome.
worried about probably really wanting to do what's best for your child, but
Right.
a lot of it probably is underlying about, oh my God, what
Well,
is
I'm
this
a working
parent or what
mom.
are my friends going to say if I don't, so we need to be less concerned about what the other parents are going to think.
well, and I'm a
if we
working
don't-
mom, so it's,
Sure.
oh, you're working. So, it's daycare's raising my child. It's like, well, are they doing a good enough job? What program does he need to be in? The small home daycare he's been in or the formalized program, that pressure, so I don't look back and 2 years ago I've done the wrong thing.
But what would make it easier, and this is what's aggravating, because my daughter's August 2, and the other one's November. Joey was September. We waited Joey. I wish they would do the cutoff September 1 because
think they
there's an
are switching
economic
that.
nope.
Oh, they're not?
There's an economic issue because kids in the inner city, parents that can't afford it, are having to send their kids earlier. So now those kids are at a potential when you have a kid in the class that's a year and a half older than you. I mean, what do? So that's creating a huge
$12,000 a year
issue.
It's a lot of money.
It is. It is a lot of money. Yeah. Well, on that note, I want to take a break. Keeping our animal theme. We usually feature, food sources from the local areas, and I thought, in keeping with our pet theme today, that we would feature Hummel hot dogs because they were founded in the early 1900s by the Hummel brothers, and everybody from New Haven knows about them. I'm a New Yorker, man. Sabrett was mine.
Okay.
So I've had to be converted over, and everybody here says Hummels are the best. So why don't you all try one and see what we can do?
And speaking of the animals too, we should just mention Marilyn's book, Benson's Race, is available on Amazon.com.
Thanks.
I have family that live in Virginia that used to live here that when we visit them, my mother brings them Hummel hot dogs because they love their hot dogs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do we have kraut chili?
No, we have mustard. If you mustard, sis, we
Yeah,
have mustard.
That's hot dogs.
We're having
We were talking before. We like our hot dogs. I like to grill them. I split them open,
I
grill
love
them.
them grilled, and they
Yeah.
have to pop open.
Yeah.
Actually, my favorites are the kind that come with the actual skin on it, so it pops and cracks when you eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's been to Maine and seen those red hot dogs?
Oh, the Red Hots. Well, that's
No,
Hummel.
no, they're
They're
red.
red.
Oh.
Like the
Yes.
drink.
Yeah.
They're red.
Oh, I have no idea.
Listen,
That
I don't
can't
care
be
what it
good
is.
for
They're
you.
all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should I tell you what my son
red
called
dye
these
one.
growing up?
No.
I won't tell
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead. Say it.
So because Joey is a great eater. So when he was little, I used to call these cancer sticks. So this way he wouldn't eat them, but he does eat them now. We do, and the hot dogs are awesome.
All right,
These are
then,
really
Thank
good.
you for that.
Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, the ingredients in a Hummel are different than others.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, all around the shore, I never heard of Hummel till I came here.
But what's New York? You said what?
Sabrats.
And that's what they serve at Yankee games, and that's all the sport things.
And it's really interesting because most hot dog companies are regional. They're not national.
that.
Yeah, except for a few, but most are
Like
regional.
Ballpark Frank.
And an interesting story about Hummel is that the Hummel brothers, they started the company out with a loan of $1,000. And from that, it grew till the tens of millions of dollars that the sales are today.
I love those stories.
And it's just, and we've got the third generation of Hummel family running it now. They have they're located over at Long Wharf in New Haven, and they also have a store a storefront that you go to. You can get your hot dogs, you can get your deli meats, you can get whatever else they sell.
I didn't know that
That's
either.
cool.
And it's still, yes, and it's still run by the Hummel family.
I've never been a
Private.
hot dog connoisseur like this. This is like
Oh, my husband
all
is.
new info.
Hummel makes a special recipe for Super Duper Weenie. My husband is a hot dog aficionado, and Hummel makes a special recipe just for Super Duper. Never been a Super Duper Weenie?
I don't
No,
know.
we're
It's right off
good?
the highway. Yeah. Yep. Fairfield.
That's
So how do you like your hot dogs then?
With ketchup.
Ketchup.
I only brought mustard.
I mean, you could do beans, chili, cheese.
Usually children do
Yeah, the
ketchup.
ketchup with
Ketchup on
it.
it.
Yeah, mustard's much better.
spicy mustard.
Yeah. So I always like to highlight
Stone
the
ground.
local businesses, but I want to just think about some takeaways from today. I just really enjoyed having Marilyn here with her books and her publishing, and especially since she featured the co-hosts of Just Saying on the front cover. So that
We had
always
great
helped.
feedback
We had
from
so
them.
much,
Yeah.
so much
Thank
fun
you.
with it, with the working with the photographer and him just wanting to get it just right. And of course, we're busy ladies, and all we're trying to do is rush them through it. And, but he was like, "No, we want to get it just right."
And sharing each one of our stories. Which
Yeah,
is
and the article in there, if you haven't read it, read that article because you'll find out a little bit about each one of us, which we haven't really had much time to talk about our own stuff, but we plan to do that on other shows. But to go back to the takeaways from today's show, I would say number one would be part of your community and get involved with animal charities, and to just go with local businesses and support our.
It's so important.
Buy local. Yeah.
And,
so
and,
important.
and people that do have
Yes.
small businesses or want to do some advertising, as Marilyn was saying, going hyper local is the new way of doing
Absolutely.
things.
She's got some great contributors
Yeah,
in
she
the magazine.
does.
And and I'm also, as many of you know, the editor of a sister magazine, same company, the Madison Neighbors magazine, and they're great publications.
Yeah, they
It's a
are.
great
They're
company.
wonderful. So on that note, I'll say love your pets and keep your sense of humor. Till next time. Just
Cheers. Just saying.
Cheers.
And yes, your hot dogs.
cheers.